Welcome, everybody, to the Onward VR Master League. My name is NightFiree with 2 E's, and I'm here with my co-caster, Sleepy, with 2 3's. How are you today, good sir?
I am doing well, NightFiree. Thank you so much for having me, and it's time for Friday Night Fights.
Oh yeah, it is going to be a high-octane matchup. This is going to be, I think, a surprise match. The people that are just tuning, are kind of expecting this, know what we're going to be getting into. But I think this is going to be an unexpected, really good battle between 2 teams that have been playing quite well. Gunning on Empty, a new squad, I mean, not a new squad, but a team that's kind of been flying under the radar of the casters at the very least, but has been doing very well in the league. Starting off the league with 4-game win streak, ended up losing barely to Space Force, winning in points, and then winning again to Ember. I mean, they are absolutely tearing it up right now.
Yeah, they sure are. So they're making a name for themselves, and they've been around before. This isn't, you know, it's not like it is their first season. A lot of these players have been around before, either on previous teams or on this team, as it has existed in previous seasons. But, you know, issues in real life and stuff that comes up, as a lot of us are, you know, grown adults with lives and families and jobs and the like. So, you know, sometimes things happen and teams dissolve for those reasons. And I think that's the case with Gunning on Empty. But it seems like they're a bit more consistent now, which seems to be doing them also quite well. Again, you know, you've said it, they've flown under the radar with casters, but they are getting those wins. So I anticipate Danglers will have more on their hands than what they're probably expecting.
Yeah, and today we do have, I mean, we're going to kick things off with a bit of an interesting matchup. Let's dive right into the pick and bans, because both squads are in lobby and are readying up for this first map. Coming in from, who was it? Danglers, we have a Bizarre ban. I don't know if we know the ban from Gunning on Empty yet.
Yes, we do. I'm sorry.
Okay. Oh, no problem. Hit me with it. I love the surprise.
Absolutely. Keep you in anticipation, I will. So it looks like Gunning on Empty is going to ban Tanker. So not a particularly surprising ban against a team like Danglers. They do typically perform very well on the map Tanker, but maybe just Gunning on Empty don't feel they're ready, or maybe they themselves don't feel confident enough in order to try and attack any objectives on that. So they're going to go ahead and take it out. So not a surprising ban from that side, but seeing Danglers ban Bizarre is very surprising. They must have done some research onto Gunning on Empty to look at, you know, maybe maps played versus maps win, and maybe whatever cast they had, because there could be some clues there as to why that ban came out. So I'm going to assume that that ban is also pretty correctly picked.
And this is a Danglers map pick, right?
It is, yes. They are home team here. They do have map choice, and they are on Marsoc. So, I mean, that's a lot of factors telling me that this is their map pick, correct?
That's interesting, because I was just, based off of the info you kind of get off of the Gunning on Empty team by looking at their score line, and you know, off of the pick bans, you would think they'd maybe go for a bit more of a wide range map to kick things off against this Gunning on Empty team. Seems to me like these guys are going to be pretty effective in close quarters. On Cargo, they 4-0'd their latest opponent. Who was it? Ember. So I think on these close quarters they could be quite effective. So we'll see how they do on Suburbia for this first map. They are going to kick it off with the Volk advantage, and that is the first map going to be Suburbia.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And it looks like the lobby host is ready. So whenever we are NightFiree, I believe the cast or the game is ready to kick off anytime.
Yeah, I think we are ready to go. On Danglers, we have Llewellyn, Executioner, Stumpy, Plenus, and Kitten Mittens. Over on Gunning on Empty, we have Dirt Diver, PT Jace, Cool Breeze, Lord Beardsteak, and Arno. And we are not going to wait any longer to see how these teams square off as we dive into round number 1 of map 1, Danglers versus Gunning on Empty.
Sorry, I was trying to look.
I was listening to the Danglers comms, and they are quite the jokesters. Plenus said, "I'm normal," and then Mech said, "You're as normal as you can be."
That sounds about like daily life in the Danglers Discord, to be fair.
Ooh, a little desync on the caster side at the very least. Well, they're pushing up here into the playground, and he is going to take that slide, looking for any sort of angles here. Nades coming in up and over, and the push is here. They're trying to push in hard. Wonder if they're going to be expecting this corner position out of PT Jace.
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, maybe not the corner position, because it's a little less likely, but I mean, he's still right at those bushes, so they will be at least checking that area. Danglers looking a little edgy here. They're ready to rip and raring to go. Look at them. They all can't stand still. Llewellyn's trying to get the angle off of the porch. Plinus will pop around, and he'll actually take care of PTJ, so our questions will be answered. The frags now going to come in from Danglers. 2 ineffective frags. 1 comes out in response from Gunning on Empty. No effect either, but Danglers still up all 5 against Gunning on Empty's 4.
Shots ringing out.
Make that 2.
Mex catches 1, Plinus with another. The push is coming in hard and heavy there,
on
all
objective.
up on tank.
Ooh. Llewellyn's still on. Llewellyn's still on the backside, but the smoke's clearing. Will Arno be able to see him in time? He has no idea he's there. Llewellyn's getting ready to get Danglers the cap here to open up round 1, and no.
Wow, there it is.
I thought Arno shot him because the kill feed lit up and I wasn't paying attention, but no. Llewellyn does get the cap, and Danglers start off strong here on map 1 with a round 1 cap.
Yeah, Gunning on Empty actually had 2 left alive, 1 inside the center building and 1 on the other side of the shrubs, but he was prone. So maybe just a lack of quick communication, especially applying pressure like this as the Danglers do with that fast pace. You have to be ready to instantly communicate downs and what's happening. You have to have your pad out, on most cases on the ground, so you can quickly check after shots are fired to analyze who's down and what's happening, because you have to be able to react so fast under situations like these. And yeah, I mean, he could have been shot from the position where one of the remaining Gunning on Empty was. If he had just stood up, he had an angle onto the tank, but it's hard. It's hard when the chaos is out there. The smokes and nades are in, and I mean, that was a great push by Danglers.
It really was. That initial pick from Plinus really opened things up, because like we were talking about, that PTJ's position was interesting to say the least.
Yeah.
It was a little off base from what people normally do there, right? So it wasn't something that anyone's going to immediately look at, but they still might have noticed if they glanced in that direction. So that opened things up, and then we got 2 picks almost immediately after that from Stumpy, and I believe it was Executioner. So that already puts the numbers heavily in their advantage. They can afford the sacrifice, which is what Stumpy ended up being, as he tried to go for that cap on the front side of the tank with the defender still in the center house. But all in all, it does work out as Llewellyn, who has been absent for a little bit. He had a bit of a hand injury. Comes in and gets the cap nice and quick fast for Danglers, and they go up 2-0 here on the first map. I mean,
Got to question that hand injury. Seems like it's working pretty good for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, I was trying to say before we got started here on the round, but Llewellyn kind of hit me up right as I was looking, and that's why I was a little quiet at the start. I was looking at Gunning on Empty's record from this season, and they haven't really faced anyone too difficult. Like, a lot of their matchups have been kind of center and lower on the tiers of the scoreboard. So this is going to be a true test for them, kind of getting their first taste of a game against a top tier team. Not that they haven't played against top tier teams or scrimmed or played against people in the past or any of these members of the teams, but it will be a good kind of opener, and a nice long range grenade from the Danglers almost catches 2. I'm actually not even sure how Cool Breeze is still alive there.
It's just a quick duck behind that solid cement block. Saves his life. Dirt Diver, fortunate enough, he's just far away from that nade to not get caught. And I think we might have some action with Stumpy here in a pretty advanced forward position, looking to maybe catch out PTJ as he decides to rotate into Playground.
Either that or Lord Beardsteak, who's just around the corner here. Stumpy should hear this. Oh, he's not going to hear it. Ooh. He doesn't hear it in time, and Beardsteak comes out from around the corner, takes down Stumpy Nub, and Gunning on Empty take the advantage on round 2.
That's like another huge pick. Just like Plinus is, it opens up this center area for them to easily maneuver. Now the entire Danglers defense is a bit on the backside. You see Kitten Mittens rotating out here, looking for the angle onto Lord Beardsteak. Does he get it? He can't find the shots, not through the fence. Wow, he's lucky Dirt Diver and Cool Breeze aren't pushing him here. Very nice maneuvering from Kitten Mittens. Grabs him one in the center. He might find a couple more here as he gets Jace on the backside and keeps the push going. Still no answer back from the 2 on the opposite side of the map. They've held their angle. Arno here checks his pad, sees who's down, and gets shot in the process by Kitten. And a fantastic triple for him. Puts Danglers into an excellent position. 4v2 now.
Yeah, what I was actually getting ready to call a dangerous, aggressive, defensive push from Kitten Mittens turns into a triple kill for him. And unfortunately, Arno, when he pulled out the tablet, that was just enough movement in the IK to show around the corner for Kitten Mittens to pick off. So great play from Kitten Mittens there, really proving me wrong. Well, at least in my head, because I hadn't said it yet. But yeah, 2 members of Gunning on Empty now on the back foot. They got plenty of time, 3 minutes, 48 seconds. They can definitely still do something here, but I'm starting to wonder, like, what is their best course of action? Do they split up and try and kind of detract their attention? And, Llewellyn going to get caught out in the window as he stands still for a moment. Cool Breeze takes the shots.
Joking around inside, they're ultimately getting them killed. I heard a lot of laughter over there between the two. Plenus maybe kidding him a little bit lazy there in the window. Does find one for Cool Breeze, and Kitten Mittens is back on the offensive in the center here, maybe looking for some more picks, as Dirt Diver might be the next target.
I think at this point is where Kitten Mittens should be a little less aggressive and start thinking more about the objective, because things can go wrong in a hurry here on this map, especially when there's this much time left. If you go out seeking those attackers, you may find yourself running into the end of their gun barrel. Any call-outs, though, from Dirt Diver or his teammate, well, Cool Breeze is far enough away, but any call-outs from Dirt Diver is going to give him away. Kitten Mittens will be there to rush around the corner, but Dirt should now have a clue as to where Kitten Mittens is, as that push into that doorway was a bit aggressive. Plenus has no idea Dirt Diver's coming up, and he's dead.
This is a really nice pickup. To grab this center house here is huge. They still do have Kitten Mittens, who does have control of the bottom stairs, but he now has to make the entry up the stairs, which is not an easy thing to do. As long as he stays quiet, I don't know if Diver's aware that Mittens is underneath here. Shots maybe from Cool Breeze. Yeah, he did think it was a friendly as he checks the pad quickly and then goes back to maybe trying to find the angle.
Well, it's basically got to be this. Executioner's getting way too antsy back here. He's really wanting to find that pick. He knows that Plenus went down inside the house, so he's figuring somebody's in there. But he also knows his kill count, and so there should be 2 left. He wants to find the kill. They want to end this round. They want to go ahead and go up 3-0 on the map, but pushing out and pushing far, especially pushing farther back away from that bush hedge lining, might end up getting him killed. Kitten Mittens needs to also not be so aggressive with Dirt Diver, because I feel like that might end up biting him as well, because he can just wait for Seth, aka Dirt Diver, to come downstairs.
Dirt seems to be... Yeah, he's checking the stairs here, but Kitten patiently waiting, might find the angle in the corner. No, he doesn't get it.
First. Yeah. As I watched Dirt angle there, I saw him just getting that advantageous angle first, and pretty much saw it was over.
Now it's all up to Mex on the other side here. Definitely the best position.
Minute left, though. Minute left. This could still be Mex's round to take.
The best position to defend objective, but as he peeks up, Dirt Diver finds the angle, nails him in the head, and takes a Marsoc round for gunning on empty there. A great answer back after getting capped on, and proving that it wasn't just a fluke. You know, or proving that maybe that 2-0 was a fluke as they get their own Marsoc win.
Yeah, it looks like the chat's just catching up with us to that cap now, and Bone Cake. Had some comments. And some comments to be made. Made me chuckle a bit. But yeah, gunning on empty, come back with a nice offensive win as well. So that allows them to possibly come back, take this defensive round, and take that kind of inherent, or most people say inherent, I'm not so sure anymore, that inherent Volk defensive advantage. Because if now that they've got that Marsoc round, they've kind of countered that reaction, even though they're still points down. Oh, wait. No, never mind. Ignore me. That doesn't work with Dangler capping. Sorry. Logic.exe is broken. Whoa.
We'll see. Uh-oh.
Oh, they better realize that, and fast.
They're not checking.
They have no idea.
Danglers have lost one here early as the round just started.
Yeah, it looks like Stumpy Nub has dropped.
Yikes. Well,
if he's not using the voice channels in Discord to call it out, to call for a reset, well, it's too late now anyway, so it doesn't matter. But then that is on the player and the team. But Danglers are still going to go at it. They wouldn't have it any other way. Though I am seeing some... Are you seeing some, like, rubber banding issues on your end?
It happens here and there. I think it's purely a spectator thing.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's pretty clean for the most part. Weller and Executioner in the playground making their advance, and this is the round for Gunning on Empty to tie things up. They got an early, unfortunate advantage. It is something that happens in the online league, and you know, oftentimes people will check, make sure that they don't, that everyone's spawned into the lobby.
That smoke dough. Look at that smoke on the. Oh well. Look at that smoke on the front of the suburban center house. It's right on the front balcony covering. Mex is going to find Cool Breeze and level things out really quickly for Danglers. The smoke placement again on point, but they're going to be attacking this garage objective. It's going to be difficult for them to get all the way up to cap it, that's for sure. But again, I don't know if they've even realized that Stumpy is gone. Executioner finds another one on PT Jace.
Good pickup there. Now up to Lord Breeze and Dirt Diver. He's tucked in that same position that ultimately cost them the cap last time, but this is a much better angle to be holding.
Ooh, Arno definitely saw Mex on the push, and he does find him at the backside of the tank. Now Llewellyn better be paying attention or he's going to get caught out as well. Plenus is not focusing on the spawn house at all. He'll trade with Lord Beardsteak in the yard, and Llewellyn, instead of trying to go around the house, tries to go inside the front door and gets caught out as well. Now it's all up to Kitten Mittens to save the round here in a 1v2 with 4 minutes left on the clock.
I think he has some utility available, one smoke, so he could smoke out Dirt Diver if he wanted to.
Yeah, the key to this, I think, is going to be getting rid of Arno first. Either getting rid of him or completely obscuring his line of sight to at least allow him to get over and deal with Dirt, because I think Dirt's an easier shot to make, but Arno's going to have to be dealt with first because of the angle. Ooh, who's going to get it?
Tries to back off in the tank, but can't get there in time. Tries to stand up from the crouch, and Arno manages to land the shots, takes him down. And Gunning on Empty take that little bit advantage that they had and tie things up 2-2.
Absolutely right. And thank you for those clips. I have already seen at least one in the chat already. Thank you guys so much for doing that. We definitely appreciate it. I know the staff at V Respawn definitely appreciates it. Putting together those weekly recap shows. But yeah, Gunning on Empty, holding solid here, saying, whoa, 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 Danglers. You might have gotten a cap, but that doesn't mean we can't stop you from doing other things. They hold their defense strong, but, you know, defense... Oh, wow, that round has already started.
I know, I was going to say, no time to really analyze that at all. Gunning on Empty don't want to waste any time either as they fire things up. Both squads eager to get into this round number 4, I believe it is. After a cap from Danglers and a nice answer back from Gunning on Empty, we are into a normal 5v5 this time. Everybody seemingly spawning in here. I think we do have a UI bug on my side at the very least on the map. Everybody is there live on Danglers, so...
yeah, the UI bug on the map is there for me as well. But the dots at the top, the player indicators at the top are correct, so that's fine. Looks like Danglers are getting cozy and setting up for a nice long one as Stumpy Nub cuts off the push availability of lane 3 with some initial hot fire out of the objective. Now Gunning on Empty moving at a bit of a more slow pace. They're going to be very careful of their angles here. They're going to be making sure that nobody is in those more traditional check spots and then start secondary checking other places. So their play style is well suited for this game, for sure. It's just how are they going to be able to adapt to the Danglers? And so far in these last 2 rounds, they've been able to do so and tie things back up. But will they be able to keep that up as the match goes on?
We'll nade up and over the other side of the house to catch anybody on the patio there camping. Nice little pre-nade, but not necessary. Nobody's that forward for Danglers. They're all pretty tucked in. Onboard Cool Breeze and Dirt Diver here as they make their push over towards the west side. It looks like actually the whole Gunning on Empty team starting to make their way up here. Very nice coordinated movements in the one line here.
Yeah, I was just about to say, it looks like Arno is about in line with your guys here in the playground. We could be seeing some shots ringing out here from the lane 3-4 push at any moment. 3 Danglers in the line of sight of Arno here, just depending on if they stand up or make the wrong movement. Stumping Up will be the one inside, and I have a feeling he's going to be the one that gets caught out first with all his movements.
Danglers holding super tight anglers, gunning on empty, haven't thrown any utility out yet. A nade coming in. A nice one, a good predictive nade there from a typical slow approach if you're going to go up that lane. Not useful, and now finally some shots maybe out towards the enemy as they do it. Spot one, PTJs picks up another, and Stumpy Nub trying to answer back on the corner. Can't find the refrag, and that's one for gunning on empty. Here comes the utility.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. At least that grenade did stop them. The suppressive fire on lane 1 did hold back that push, but they did lose Executioner. Plinus, I think, is a little scared to poke his head up because right now, if he does, it's going to get ripped right off. Arno's looking right at him. PTJ sitting there on the corner ready to shoot as well. I think he's trying to find Stumpy first, but Beardsteak is actually going to find Llewellyn. And that's going to be another Dangler down. Gunning on empty looking good here in their next Marsoc round. They're up 5v3 right now. 3 minutes and 15 seconds in the round.
Lord Beardsteak, the most forward one, reloading the rifle and going to be advancing first as Stumpy Nub catches out PTJ. The spot here behind him gets another as he denies Beardsteak, and here comes some moves from Kitten Mittens as well, and a huge denial from gunning on empty and a flash. It's all up to Cold Breeze.
It literally just flipped on its head in an instant. Things went from a 5v3 to a 1v3. Wow, interesting stuff.
.220 on the clock, and Cool Breeze bit of reassessment here. Realizes he's the last one alive, knows the situation he's in, and is trying to shift around maybe to catch an angle onto Stumpy, but the spot that Stumpy's held up there, he's using some of the new placements, well, relatively new placements inside that bottom floor to stay covered, and it's really doing him wonders shooting through the window there. He's been able to completely deny entry out through this playground, and we'll see if he can deny Cool Breeze, who's making a similar attempt. Ooh, a nade. Bit too far. Plinus here diligently holding his angle even after the nade comes up and over. Stumpy Nub looking to catch out Cool Breeze, and I don't know if he'll be able to spot Cool Breeze if he's prone here and takes his time. Kitten actually the one that catches him in the corner. Danglers hold on to their Volk round, going up 3-2.
Yep, solid round there. You could see that Danglers, once gunning on empty started pulling back a couple of rounds, they changed up their defense a bit. They were like, you know what? No one's going to come in and get any caps now. Don't get any funny thoughts there. Gunning on empty, we're not going to just let you walk up and get a cap on us or anything. But, you know, gunning on empty definitely were looking very solid at the start of that push NightFiree. I mean, they were able to take down 2 of the Danglers very early on, and then you know, another one later, and then in an instant, like we talked about, things went from a 5v3 to a 1v3, and that, you know, was pretty much when it was over. I mean, it definitely wasn't automatically decided at that point, but I forget who that was. Cool Breeze had a lot of work cut out for him, that is for sure. Even with all the time he had left and everything going, kind of everything that was in his favor, I don't think was really enough, but he could have pulled something out for sure.
I mean, that is that was the Danglers defense working how they wanted it to. You know, everyone, the advantage was there gunning on empty early, but Danglers had their setups and they're waiting on the long angles. They're waiting until gunning on empty made their push, and as soon as they did, Stumpy catching 2, one going down to Kitten, I believe, in the corner. It was just a really quick blast of that push and a quick denial to shut down gunning on empty. That's hard to come back from, because you don't have very much information to go off of. You just heard a lot of gunshots. Very well, a very good attempt, but ultimately Danglers, nice job with that defense. And yeah, a good reaction, something I don't think we typically have seen out of them.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely changing. They're evolving, I guess is the best term for Danglers right now.
That's scary.
Yeah, I mean, personalities are still the same, but the way they're going about, you know, their performance in the league and things like that has definitely changed lately. I don't know if that's attributed to Riboman taking the reins as captain. I'm not going to say that because I don't want to take that away from Expediter, who was still a good captain to the Danglers. But yeah, Ribo's definitely picked up the pace as far as scheduling practices and scrims. So I can see where Danglers would be learning these new sets of skills from, because, you know, they really try and keep it above board and try and play as much as they can now, which is good to see. Ooh. Danglers trying to get very aggressive. The frags are already out. Shots coming out towards the lane one flank, but no connections just yet. PT Jace has just got a buffet running at him, though.
Yeah, he's got a lot of available targets. Kitten Mittens realizes the threat and decides to charge forward, denying PT Jace any more opportunities to reload. Nade coming in from Beardsteak, a flash. Bit too far, and shots through the wood get Kitten Mittens one.
Oh, God. Kitten Mittens, man, doing work right now. Doing work on this map in general. That triple kill he had earlier. I think he might see death. Dirt Diver here. The smoke's going to clear up. Oh, but Kitten's tucked in behind the fence. He got lucky there. Dirt is seen by Llewellyn, though.
They have a cross angle coming in from Arno. If Llewellyn gets too antsy here and charges forward, he could get picked off, but he finds Dirt. Now Arno looking for the angles, doesn't see Llewellyn push up here to the ATV, or to the Humvee.
Here come the smokes from Danglers. This is going to be another cap push. They're going to go for the 5-2 here.
Oh, a good denial of Arno onto Llewellyn there as he tried to maneuver up and kind of coach the team. Stumpy finding him. Two reses are available there on the other side, but
unlikely, though.
Yeah, Cool Breeze not really in a position to get them, and he's getting flanked.
Very surprised here to not see more push from the Danglers off those smokes. Now, the smoke placement isn't the greatest, and of course, Cool Breeze in a good position to be able to stop this push, but now they've got one man coming around behind on the other side. Plinus coming from the flank. He could actually get over there and get to the objective before they're able to do anything. Plinus going to go ahead and get those confirmations, let the call-outs die. Cool Breeze is going to grab the attention onto Plinus, and Kitten Mittens will get onto the objective. Here's going to come another cap. Cool Breeze is rushing over. Will he get it in time? Oh my God, Kitten Mittens turns to get it.
Wow!
You're going to squeeze out the round. Cool Breeze manages to get the credit for the trade.
The clutch. The huge clutch from Cool Breeze. He catches Stumpy, he gets the push, and then he gets the final trade. We're still in Suburbia here. We're going to a final round.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, Kittens did the right thing. He heard the guy coming. He stopped the cap to go for the kill, but the guy was, you know, Cool Breeze was already ready for that one. Gun trained on the objective because he saw him run in. He knew where he was. So a good kill there. I think the Danglers are probably in the lobby yelling about the trade and going to gunning on empty. But, you know, it is what it is. That happens in the game. And gunning on empty, stay alive and take us to the match, or the map point, I should say. A bit unbeknownst to me, I was really thinking that cap was done.
No, it took him a bit too long. He was just a bit too exposed. I'm surprised he didn't decide to tuck into between the two blocks. It looked like he just went behind one and tried to kind of rush that cap.
I think he was worried to be exposed between them. You know what I mean? Because he saw Cool Breeze there, like in that kind of relative angle. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking, if it were me, I wouldn't have went to that crack either, just because I would be scared that they could see me between the two Heskos.
The angles,
but that's just...
Yeah, he should have tucked in there in between those two little crates there. It would have been the perfect spot. He would have had denial of that angle either way if he was there. He's not going to shoot through the objective. So, you know, just a little rushed play there to try and get the cap, but ultimately Cool Breeze, dude, that was an excellent triple kill there, and you can just hear the disappointment in Sleepy's voice at the end of that call when it was in the favor of gunning on empty. His boys throwing that one right here, and we'll see if they can hold on to it.
It's hard to tell.
I heard it, Sleepy.
Yeah.
It's hard to not root for your own team, just like when I cast G-Men.
I think I've done a good bit so far. I mean, I can't help if my voice sounds deflated. Dangler's going to go on the defense here to try and close out the round. Gunning on empty, he'll be looking for a kill. Linus is watching lane one pretty hard, but it's going to be hard to see PT Jace until he gets a bit closer or makes some sort of movement that is ill-advised.
Has to stay beneath that those barriers. If he stands up, yeah, he's gonna be in trouble.
That nade bounced off of something in the air for me. I think it was due to some spectator.
Yeah, smooth for me, so.
Ping issues. Oh, but not smooth for PTJs, because that frag lets Plenus know that he's there. He sees a little bit of movement between the leaves, takes his shots. He does get the kill, but he's not going to risk it with one crazy-looking flash frag out. One comes out also from Dirt Diver. No success there. And Gunning on Empty already down one as we tick into the first minute of the round.
This first map off to a real interesting start. Gunning on Empty definitely proving that they are a skilled team, that Danglers cannot just roll over them here. Although they are doing quite well on this defensive round. As things do come down to the wire, they now have a 5v3 advantage.
Yeah, it's going to be up to the Danglers now at this point, honestly. I mean, they have to make sure that they don't start getting too cocky now, right? They've got a 5v3 advantage. Some teams would start sending people out aggressively, and that could end up losing those team members, and then eventually things working out going the opposite way, you know what I mean? So better off playing it safe with the first map on the line, especially when it's your map pick, because, man, that's a stinger, right? To lose your own map pick. Stumpy Nub will find another pick. Meanwhile, onto Lord Beardsteak. And that'll be the third to go down for Gunning on Empty as we come close to 3 minutes, about a minute from now.
Yeah, they definitely have been looking really good on defense. When they try and tighten it up and lock it in, it's a hard fortress for Gunning on Empty to get through. And you know, that like that last round before where the Danglers were holding tight angles, they're doing similar things here. They could afford to send Kit and Mittens on another aggressive flank if they wanted, but they're not, and they are staying really tight. They're holding these angles. Plenus, I don't think, has moved off this angle for 3 minutes.
No, somebody's been training him well, because I've never seen him sit this still. But no, he's diligently watching lane one. Nobody is going to get across that if he's got something to say about it. The rest of the team, yeah, just minding their own angles, keeping it tight. Plenus is going to look away. I was going to say he's going to look away at the second that Dirt Diver chooses to move across that lane. Looks like Stumpy Dum might have seen Cool Breeze as he pushed across that lane 2-3 hybrid in the center of the map. And yeah, just waiting on, you know, Gunning on Empty to kind of figure out what they're going to do here. I think they're probably going to go for some sort of tandem strike. It is probably their best option. Maybe. I honestly don't know, because the way the Danglers defense is spread, I don't think they could really do a split and be effective, because then it's one person defending multiple angles versus two people doing so, and at least, you know, maybe you can pull out a miracle with two people covering each other versus covering your own ass. They're gonna try it though, and they're gonna learn that you're not gonna get across there with Plenus watching that angle today. Cool Breeze is gonna stop right in his tracks, and I think Mex is gonna go for a frag over the roof.
Such a
wrong direction, unfortunately.
Determined Danglers team right here. You know, like they really are locked in here to try and get this win. Cool Breeze, he does have. I mean, he's managed to make comebacks before, but this one's a little bit different. 1v5, a minute 50 on the clock, and Danglers just locked into their angles. If they play like,
really are they?
I don't know, it's gonna be hard. If they play like this next round on Volk, this is all they have to do. They just have to stay tight.
Wait, who needs to play the next round on Volk? The next round, we're going to the next.
I know. Danglers need to play like this. Next map.
on the next round Volk map? I see what you're saying. Sorry. Need to upgrade my processor. I think Cool Breeze might find Kitten Mittens out here. No, by the hair on his chinny chin. Kitten Mittens just barely escapes with his life. Cool Breeze is going to cut back through the playground now. Still a little silent. He will see Stumpy. Stumpy will see him. This time the trade happens, but it doesn't matter. Execution are going to blow some C4 up on Llewellyn there. But Danglers will take the win on map 1 with a solid defensive round. Gunning on Empty, though, man, really putting up some serious numbers. Going 4-3 on map 1.
A all-out battle for our first map on Suburbia. I'm excited to see how the rest of this series is going to shake out. A reminder on the bans, we have Bazaar and Tanker taken off the list. So the close quarters maps are sort of off. We do have Downfall, Quarantine, and Cargo, another close quarters map, still available, but we're going to go long range, as it looks like gunning on empty, you're going to opt for Downfall. This is an
I can hear the
choice.
Danglers moaning.
Yeah, I think this is the right choice. This is definitely the way to play Danglers. Especially after going with such a good battle like that, you got them kind of riled up and focused. You go on a longer range map like this, maybe they make some mistakes where they're trying to get aggressive.
I mean, you saw their match last week against, who was it? I think they just played and they capped on like 5 men up on Downfall on this objective. Oh wait, no, this is dumpster objective. Never mind. But either way, Dangler's Downfall game has improved immensely. If anyone watching casts and streams out there hasn't seen that, then I'm sorry, you guys are foolish. But their game has improved tenfold on that. On defense, they've always played the same. Play it very tight and don't peek if you don't have to, because it's Downfall. What are they going to do? They're rarely going to shoot at you from way out. So their defense has always been pretty solid on the map. Their attacking was always a bit weaker just because they didn't particularly like the map. But now they seem to be doing well on it fairly consistently. And I mean, I think they 4-0'd that last team they played on this map just last week or earlier this week. So you gotta be careful assuming that Danglers are just terrible on this map.
Never said that. Just thought it was a good choice to pick a long-range map after having that kind of fast-paced action on Suburbia.
Yeah,
Draw
sure.
things
No,
out.
I'm not saying you were saying that. I'm like, if that was their thoughts on it, is what I'm saying. Like, because a lot of people typically try and pick Downfall on Danglers because they're like, oh, Danglers hate it, so they're not good at it, right? Like, they don't practice it, they don't know how to play it. So that's all I was trying to say. I'm not saying you were saying. I know you know better than that.
I don't know. I think it's a good map to pick against Danglers, to be honest, because they don't like it.
It is a better map of the pool to select against Danglers. I agree. Yes, 100%.
So going on empty, a smart choice. They are a good threat here. Almost winning on Suburbia. And now picking a map that I think is probably the best one they can choose to go into our second one to try and take it to a series decider. They're waiting for one of Danglers to get back into lobby. And we should have the action underway. If you are just tuning in, don't be afraid to give a follow on to Twitter and Facebook. Head on over to the site, register for the league if you want to join. Join the Discord, get involved in the community chat. It is a little rambunctious sometimes. You have been warned, but it is a lot of people that love the game. So if you have any questions, that's the place to be.
Sure is, NightFiree, and you can find that link and links to just about everything else he just mentioned on the website, vrmasterleague.com/onward/contractors/Pavlov/final assault. Just why. But yeah, and thank you to everyone. Of course, there's also a donation link on that site. Thank you to those who have donated in the past or those who have donated more recently. We do appreciate that, of course. All of that goes towards improving the league. And then, of course, your subscriptions and chat biddies and stuff like that. That goes towards showing our casters put in their time to bring you action, a little bit of appreciation for their hard work. And here soon we'll have some exciting stuff to be able to share with you, really pump some new energy into the casts. And really excited for that. I know some of our team are a bit taxed at the moment. Been working hard trying to get this done. But yeah, so we're all very excited to bring that to you very soon. So we hope you continue to stick it out with us, but be sure and continue to help us spread the word. That is like the biggest thing I could preach right now to our community and to those of us who happen to follow the channel. Spread it out. Spread it on your Facebook, on your Twitter, whatever you happen to use, man. Get the word out there that we're live. Have your friends watch you play a match and swing on through. You know what I mean? Just any way we can get some extra eyes on the channel would be great, and just help us grow and become a bigger and bigger community. Of course, interest more people in VR. I know that's a little bit harder since we don't have the loveliness of having a LAN where we can shoot live action cameras and throw it over your gameplay footage. But I think we do a pretty damn good job, NightFiree, with what we have and doing this all over the internet. Everyone basically doing it over the internet. Players all in different areas, of course.
Yep. And now we don't have to wait any longer or hear us babble on as we dive into round number 1 of map 2, gunning on empty on the back foot after losing a close battle on Suburbia. And I don't think any subs came in here, the same active roster for both sides, as we get a long east rotation from gunning on empty and a patient north positioning.
Shots already ringing out from Cool Breeze. I think he saw one of the defenders rushing up on that northern hillside, but he's not able to connect.
Yeah, that information's going to slow up the east approach because now everybody's going to have eyes onto that hill. They're going to be a little bit wary about charging forward here.
Oh, yeah, especially being in the open like most of them are. I mean, and really they don't have an option there. So it's not like I'm trying to dig at them, because that's not true. They just don't have a lot of options as far as cover and concealment as they move their way up. They do have a little bit better terrain to be able to utilize than they used to. This map has seen some good balance changes, I think, with some of the terrain alteration across some parts of the map. But yeah, you're definitely right. It's going to slow them up. It's going to make them a lot more cautious. And honestly, that person doesn't even have eyes on them, so they're looking for someone who's not even really a threat to them at the moment. It's just something they need to be aware of as they approach this corner of their attack.
Saw that long rotation from Jace. Looks like he's going to go all the way up to that high hill. It is going to be a pretty nice angle, and I think he's going to get there in decent time with about 4 minutes left to maneuver. And Plenus is probably going to be the first target that's going to have to watch out for a long rotation there out of PT.
Oh, yeah, guaranteed. Those shots are definitely coming for him, especially with the information they got from Cool Breeze. So it'll be just a matter of minutes before Plenus is basically PT Jace's sights, just ready to die. And I think Cool Breeze is just holding an angle on it, keeping watch in order to make sure he doesn't leave from there.
Plenus is aware, though. He's got his eyes up on that hilltop as well. So he knows his weaknesses here in this position.
I'm not sure. Yeah, but it's just which hilltop is he looking at? Because if he's not checking the actual mountain range, the ridge line behind him, that's where PT's going to be, and not here by these rocks, which I think is what he's probably listening and checking for.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
I could be wrong, though. I could be wrong. He could be looking up on the hill. But either way, he'll see somebody up here on the ridge line, but if he's not looking directly at it, it could be missed in the peripherals.
PT Jace also has to spot him. It's not exactly a
true
obvious spot there, and he does have to kind of get forward up over that hill. I think what he might want to be doing with this position is wrap all the way around to that 2-story up on the hilltop there, get inside there, and then be able to shoot out the windows and be a much more dangerous threat to anybody trying to defend the backside of the objective.
Yeah, here's my mounting concern, though. We have 2.5 minutes left and not a lot of movement towards the objective. You got 2 guys still back towards the North Hotel. They're going to need the 2.5 minutes just to get to the objective.
Yep.
And they're already going to have to face Llewellyn down there by the North Volk headquarters building, whatever you want to call that. And then you have the rest of the team. You got one way up on the ridge line in the hill. Fortunately for him there, PT Jace does see Plenus.
Gives away his position, though. It's going to be a lot harder for him to rotate around into that 2-story that he's going to want to try and do here. Coming down this hill is going to be a lot more dangerous now.
Oh, absolutely.
Ooh.
But he does find Executioner, which will really help out. But, yeah, actually, that completely opens up the defense. Mex got a little antsy trying to look for that pick, and well, he paid for it. Either way, 1:30 left. Kit Mittens can see the approach to the objective, but he can't get anywhere. Llewellyr's going to have to make it back, and he's going to be struggling to do so. Kitten will find shots on PTJ Stone, get the headshot. Llewellr risking it all, running out through the open. There he goes. He changes his route. He's calling one out by the Humvee now. He definitely sees it.
He is getting flanked.
Yeah, I was about to say, you better watch out. He's getting shot, and there are the shots ringing out. Lord Beardsteak takes down, finishes off Plenus, I should say, as Cool Breeze gets the headshot onto Llewellr. 1 minute left. Can they do it? It's just Kitten Mittens. And who else?
I see there's someone else on my, but I wonder if they had another DC and it's just Kitten defending this objective here, because I don't see anybody else, and the smokes are coming in. 4 alive for gunning on empty with 50 seconds left. It's a very beginners-esque approach here to trying to cap this objective.
Kitten Mittens will find the kill onto Cool Breeze. Well, I didn't even see pushing. I thought he was actually angling onto Dirt Diver. Arno's coming around to find Kitten. Kitten will find the kill onto Lord Beardsteak, but unfortunately for him, Arno is there to bring up the rear. He gets the kill, and gunning on empty get the round on downfall.
I would say fortunately for him, because they definitely had a cap opportunity there, so to only lose 1, best case scenario in that case. But I think Stumpy DC'd again, which is who they've been having trouble connecting to the game. So really unfortunate for Danglers right here, because this is an important map, and this is the series decider for them if they can take it.
That is correct. If they do take this map, they can sit back on their heels for map 3 at least. But right now, yeah, things are on the line. So losing a player like that in a crucial defensive map, which they were kind of taking, you know, going to be able to swing back from, I feel like, had they had that last player to help back up Kitten Mittens, who, like it or not, could not leave that spot. You know, I'm sure a lot of people in the chat or watching later will think, well, why didn't Kitten Mittens rotate? Well, because Kitten Mittens was surrounded on like 4 different sides. So any way he tried to go about moving from that room to on top of the objective, he was completely susceptible to fire and being killed, which, I mean, I guess better that than getting capped on is the old saying. But he did end up dying anyways before getting capped on, so no harm, no foul. But yeah, it was a tough call. That
room's a lot stronger than it used to be with the addition of those little wood crates that peek out there. You have so much more cover to sort of work with inside there. You can actually watch your south side, whereas you were completely exposed if you took up a position in there to any sort of south flank. So yeah, I mean, I agree. It's a good idea for him to stay in there. He has much better coverage of the surrounding area, and a nice attempted defense there to hold on for Danglers, and we'll see hopefully if they can have 5 alive for the start of this one as they go on the offense for round number 2.
Danglers are going to get the quick spawn. I'm interested to see what's going to happen here. But gunning on empty has already identified they're there, so whoever it was on Danglers that gave it away will be punished severely by the team, I'm sure.
10 lashings.
10 lashings. No tongue lashings, though, because just a bunch of mouth. They're all the cuddliest dudes ever, and Stumpy tries to find one as they rotate into the objective room, but Lord Beardsteak is able to save his Beardsteak and does not go down to the shots that ring out. And Danglers honestly not playing this as aggressively as I thought. Maybe it's because they were aware that the defense was kind of already watching them.
Lots of shots, yeah, early from Danglers. Like, they're not afraid of giving away this positioning. They're just actually holding angles really, like everybody's holding a different angle. Stumpy's watching one window, Max is watching another. They're just making sure that no peeking can even happen here. And if it does, it's going to mean death for one of the gunning on empty.
Yeah, they're also covering each other's route pushes as well. Stumpy able to push up there onto the, or I'm sorry, Max able to push up there onto the main building. He actually gets by Cool Breeze. Oh, yeah. I bet that's some body clipping in the wall, not being able to shoot issues right there, because he definitely should have had that kill easy as day.
Oh, misses shots on Llewellr, and he's a huge threat here. Nobody knows that Cool Breeze is down here. Stumpy Nub, if he makes his approach. Yeah, now Max knows. But he might think it's a friendly.
He might. He sees the dot near him. He doesn't look to be freaking out too much. Cool Breeze is trying to come up. It looks like, yeah, here comes. He's going to rush in behind Mex. Mex has no idea. He's pulling the pin on a grenade. Cool Breeze gets the pick onto Mex. Will the Danglers notice that they've lost Mex inside, or will Cool Breeze continue to just be able to rain down? Nice little toss out the window. Finds Stumpy Nub. He is down, though. Cool Breeze Go down to the Llewellyn, and I would expect a res onto Stumpy. Smokes now coming out. Frag out onto the objective. Beardsteak tucks into the corner to stay safe. He almost peeks into the window, though. And Kitman's trying to find that LMG fire. Nade out, a flash out, I'm sorry, in response from Lord Beardsteak now.
One day we'll have indicators on nades, and we'll know right when it comes out of the hand, Sleepy, and it'll be glorious, and we'll celebrate it diligently on the channel.
Get like an unpinning indicator.
Like,
hey,
no, just the
different
dotted lines to tell us what nades are what.
Oh yeah, that would be nice. Really, all you need is just the dotted line for flashes.
Right.
Like you can keep them solid for smokes, right? Because they have smoke trails.
Yeah.
You know where they're going and where they came from. But yeah, flashes and frags, I would like to see a differentiation between the two. Kit Mitten's going to rotate back to the center hotel, grab the pickup onto Stumpy Nub, and that'll set Danglers up for a good approach here onto the objective. I believe they've already used quite a bit of their smoke utility, though, so I don't anticipate them being able to use much smoke, but they are going to go for the cap. Llewellyn is getting very close, but he got too greedy before he ducked down. Lord Beardsteak gets the downing. Still able to be res, though. Could find the kill. No, Beardsteak's going to find Kitten Mittens as well.
Coming on empty.
And there's the smoke. Oh, wow, that smoke, lol, ripped.
And not exactly working from them, but these Gunning on Empty guys are really some good clutch players. Lord Beardsteak catches out 2 and looks for a third, but he can't quite land the shots onto that far side. A res coming in, very key for Kitten Mittens to get pulled up here, and a nice pick from Plenus. Denying Beardsteak getting more action,
As Gunning on Empty go for the res.
Nope.
Now their last player is off the objective. Danglers, I don't know if they're quite aware of it yet, but they need to be heading out real fast. Arno's now on the move. He's pushing back for the objective. Stumpy's not ready to push. Here it comes, and the Danglers, like a bunch of laser-guided bombs, you just see them focus in on him and take the kill onto Arno. Now we're going into a Marsoc trade-off here as Danglers take their attack round as well.
Very nicely done from the Danglers. The KDs coming in from Kitten, 3-2 and 2-1 for Plenus. Pretty similar across both sides, so we're in a nice little duel for map number 2, and this has been a great series so far. Pretty even match.
Yeah, impressive showing from Gunning on Empty, in my opinion. I mean, as I mentioned earlier in the cast, for those who might not have been here, I did tell the Danglers, like, you know, they've been doing quite well. I mean, granted, they've been playing a lot of kind of middle of the ladder teams and the starter teams because they didn't have an initial MMR ranking. So of course that's how things go. So this was kind of their first kind of foot into the old top tier waters, and they're holding up quite well. They did get capped on in the first round, but you know, they shook that off. They came back, tied it up, and then continued to kind of fight back and forth for a point until Suburbia was finally decided at 4-3. Now we're trading Marsoc rounds here as both teams were effectively able to execute on their Marsoc rounds. I'm interested to see where this goes. I wonder if this map will eventually tilt one way or the other, or if it will stay locked until we get to map 3 and everyone's going to have to stay on point the entire time.
I think one thing that we do have to really bring up is that a lot of the rounds that Going on Empty has won, it's been that 4-man, you know, disadvantage for Danglers. They've had a DC, so I do think that maybe if Danglers can just hang on to all 5 and stay connected into the game, we'll have a much better shot of winning these maps here as we do go in to our 3rd round of map number 2. Danglers on the defense, and they have been looking good on defense, like you were saying, Sleepy.
They have, I mean, but I have to give it to Gunning on Empty. That execution on the first round here on the map was quite good, so I wasn't surprised to see it happen, but, you know, we talked about what went down and why I think Hitman's really did the best he could with what he had, and that's how things go. But now they're on a new defensive round. Can they kind of stop Gunning on Empty and their attacking success, or will they get picked off again and will continue to trade Marsoc rounds possibly? Weller sees some early movement over in the east. He's going to take shots, but he's not going to connect with anything, so he will now receive the return fire from Arno.
Stumpy finds one early, trying to rotate around on that north side, and wow, they got over there real fast on the north. Almost flew under the radar as they managed to get almost, you know, nearly to that east side. There is one still over there.
Yeah, it's an impressive work. They definitely utilized their time well so far on that farther push. Well, I guess really it's not the farther push, but getting down it successfully and going around the west side is the farther route for sure. Some shots will pop off there from PTJs towards Stumpy, and that's going to alert him that somebody knows he's there. And Stumpy's going to have an idea of where to look. So we'll have to see how that pans out. But that could mean PTJs is kind of nailed in his own coffin. But he's got a nice angle underneath that truck to the window.
Nice line of sight from Llewellyn as he denies Lord Beardsteak trying to advance around the east side. And he's been a serious threat to this push since the beginning on this hilltop, as he confirms that pick. And gunning on empty now, only 3 left alive.
Yep, so far so good for the Danglers defense, but gunning on empty have turned things around before, so not to be surprised if they did it again. Though I don't know. They're all in very open areas or have to make very long open field crosses. Now the shots ringing in there from Arno are going to give his position away and reconfirm that he's there. Now he's taking shots from 2 different Danglers. He's pretty much tucked in. And honestly, I think Llewellyn could get aggressive here and push up towards the east and just kind of come around and find Arno as Executioner keeps him pinned down, or Plenus, I should say, keeps him pinned down.
Very fortunate. He kind of almost like rolled back. I wonder what that looked like in real life as he dove back there. As Kitten finds Dirt Diver actually finding Stumpy. Arno catching Llewellyn, getting really aggressive on the corner there, and Danglers now into a 3v2.
Just like that.
Take a look at Dirt Diver's position, since he's going to be flanking here, and kind of get an idea of what gunning on empty are trying to do with 3 minutes left. They're not in terrible positions. They have the east available for him to move up and get up onto that hilltop. Dirt Diver pretty much has this approach available to come in from the west, so they could make a decent attempt here on objective, although Danglers are holding those tight angles we were talking about, and those are the hard ones to really push through.
Yeah, they really are. Plus, we talk about you know, how tightly they're playing on top of the objective right now, so it's going to be real tough to get anyone in there. They're not at any risk right now of anyone being too far off to rotate in if Executioner right inside the objective room were to go down. So not in a crazy advantage by any means. Danglers, I think, still currently holding the advantage, not only because of man advantage, but just simply placement on the map. But gunning on empty still have a lot they can work with, for sure. Dirt Diver could come in from a completely hard angle and sneak right under the noses of all of them if played out right. But that would take a lot of just coincidental magic lining up.
Plenus holding his angles on the hilltop, should be having to deal with the movements from the east soon. 1 minute and 30 left for them to work with, so time is ticking. And they are a bit split up. Dirt Diver's a bit more forward than his counterpart on the east.
He sure is, and it looks like he and Mex just keep almost seeing each other, but I think because of the new pieces of cover inside there, Mex not able to look as far, so he can't see Dirt Diver, who was just standing in that window. But Dirt's definitely looking up in that direction too. They're just not able to see each other just yet, but this is going to be the push that tells the story. No, Executioner will find the kill, and now it's all up to Arno on the hillside, who does manage to take down Plenus, but he's got less than a minute to get all the way down to the objective building with 2 Danglers who are now completely aware of his position.
I wonder if so he's going to go straight up the center. Instead of going and trying to work his way up the crevice, he's going to try and just sprint down towards objective, which I think is a decent call here. I don't know if he has enough time, though.
He doesn't. Especially now that he's hesitated here, he definitely doesn't.
Yeah. He has to
and if he does, he doesn't have enough time to get a cap, that's for sure. Not transit and cap. There's no way.
He did check the pad. He does know how much is left. He just checked his watch. He heard the 30-second timer. He's going to toss a nade out. Kitten. Oh my gosh, loses the trade. Arno's here on the corner. C4 still available for Mex as he detonates it. Pushes the corner. Mex has to tuck in. Yep. The trade and Danglers this time coming out on top. We had to wait there for a second for it to come through, but wow, what a close one.
Too risky.
Yeah, we were both saying, we both were basically yelling at Mex to stay tucked in.
Too risky. I'm shaking my head there because that was way too much up to chance. I could have been gunning on empty, getting their second Marsoc round, which, you know, honestly, if it comes down to it, let me be frank. Like, I want gunning on empty to win just as many rounds as Danglers. When I sit in the caster's chair, it's different for me. Like, I might make some comments and I might talk about time on Danglers, but I really try and be fair. And I think I've been fair tonight in saying that gunning on empty has done a great job with their attacks. But yeah, I mean, that was rolling the dice as far as the Danglers are concerned, as far as, you know, do we stop their Marsoc win streak, or do we finally upset it, take our Marsoc or our Volk round back, and can now kind of go back to Volk advantage if we wanted to do so, or if we needed to do so, I guess we should say.
Taking our time now between rounds instead of instantly jumping into them. Both teams trying to hash out a strategy.
Yeah, it seems that pause we had earlier with the Danglers, we're missing one. Kittenman's had a bit of power outage apparently, so that's what was delaying the game. His power dipped for a moment, so everything shot on him. And then Stumpy has been apparently having DCing issues pretty consistently, as we've seen in the rounds. I mean, that's definitely no secret. So yeah, so not very helpful, but you know, either way, Gunning on Empty still playing a fantastic set of maps so far, and really sticking it to Danglers, proving that they can fight their way out at the top.
Danglers have been playing a great game, though, as well. This has just been a great series, a good, solid battle. Both teams doing well, and we'll see how Danglers go on the offensive now.
They're going right for it.
Yeah, they are.
Straight down.
Look at these early nades, too. Early smokes to kind of give them coverage as they try and push in. Maybe distract some early defensive positioning as well. Stumpy Nub. A bit exposed here if he decides to try and push up from that hilltop angle.
Ooh, nice place grenade on the objective. If Arno would have come to just kind of check outside, he would have definitely died. But we'll see how Danglers can figure it out from here. They've managed to get up quite close, but nothing confirmed yet. And Plenus goes down to PTJ, says he pushes up a very odd route for most people, staying far west as you push through the town. It's a bit unorthodox, really. But it will let Danglers know that PTJ's is up there on the hill, so now they will be aware as they make their push.
They know Stumpy's trying to inch his way up along the wall as well, so Jace trying to check that, but that tree really doing some work in denying his vision from this hilltop area. Everybody else is real close to shooting each other, but just missing the angles. Arno's staying tucked in, so nobody can see him inside. And these angles from Gunning on Empty are pretty tight. With this objective, they can afford to sort of be patient and wait for Danglers to try and make their push. I wonder if they're going to go and wrap around for that res, because that's going to take some time.
Yeah, it looks like Executioner is on the rotation to go back for Plenus. Plenus been giving call-outs to the team, letting them know where PTJ's is, so the team is aware of his location. They're just not able to angle on it at the moment, so we'll see if that happens to change when the res comes out. Mex should be getting there really at any point now, but it's... Oh, yeah, there's PTJ's looking to follow up for the backup to the res. Stumpy doesn't have the angle either. Just as much as PTJ's doesn't have that angle, neither does Stumpy.
This is interesting that both Kittens and Stumpy have managed to make it here under the eye of Gunning on Empty, basically just barely squeezing underneath that top rooftop angle. You see the suppression denying peeking out of the window as Stumpy crosses here nice and easy, so he makes his way inside to cover, and this is a good approach from Danglers right now.
Yeah, they're utilizing good communication, backing each other up. Stumpy's calling for some suppressive fire on key spots on defense. Then he finds that clutch shot onto PTJ's right as Executioner gets Plenus up. Danglers are back 5 strong as they take down 1 confirmed.
This is peak coordination from Danglers. Weller.
Look at Weller. Ooh.
Lord Beardsteak with a really nice pickup and drops back from the angle just to miss Kittens, who's in a crazy spot right now. Is so close to objective, caught between no one really, just Beardsteak as he trades, and now there's only one Dangler left. In a flash.
Wait, what happened to the rest of them?
I don't know. I didn't even see it. Now it's all up to Mex.
He's gonna die because he's looting a corpse that's in the middle of the open. Gunning on Empty now gonna take their Volk round and. Well,
Sleepy, I was watching the push. Okay, everybody just died around him.
I was too. I was like, Llewellyn died. Okay, fair. I saw Lord Beardsteak shoot him. Kitten Mittens gets a trade, but I don't know where Plenus and Stumpy died. I'm assuming to PT Jace or maybe some shots down from the dark room in the north, but no confirmation on that. Stumpy could have, for all we know, dropped out again in the middle of that round. But yeah, I mean, Gunning on Empty take their Volk round, so now Danglers have to win every Volk round from here out because, again, they did regain their defensive advantage if they're able to take every Volk round by stopping Gunning on Empty on one of their... by stopping
We've had even trades
on one of their defensive rounds. Right. So they could kind of play it safe and play definite hard defense for the rest of the map. I mean, I'm sure they're probably still going to go after it on the Marsoc round. I mean, they just don't know how not to go after it. But we'll see. Gunning on Empty have been playing it very well. Their execution has been pretty on point with the exception of a round or two. So I anticipate some tough competition as we go into the final rounds of map 2.
I don't think there was a DC there because I still see a scoreline for Stumpy. That's kind of the indicator.
Oh, that's true. Okay, then. Well, we know he didn't drop.
Yeah, I think that was... but I do think that was one of the... I legitimately think most of the rounds they've won, there has been a DC. So it's just, I don't know, I think it's one of the first... Maybe the second round Gunning on Empty's beat Danglers where they've had all 5 alive. And again, that's just part of the internet. That if you're playing in an online league, you can't really avoid internet connections. Actually, you can if you're aware of them. If you just pay attention to the DC at the start of the round. But if it happens in the middle of the round, you just have to play through it.
Do. Yeah. We try and provide an option for a reset if it happens at the start of a round. But after a certain point, we can't ask a team to reset a round, especially if it's been 3 minutes. And 2 of your people already died in some other way. Like, how is that fair to the team that killed those 2 people to have you allowed to reset because somebody DC'd? So, it is what it is. And I mean, I think things are a little extra touchy right now as far as the connection and ping stuff. You got a lot of players in from different areas. Yeah. Because I think Gunning on Empty rocks mostly. A couple of Aussies. Yeah, mostly Aussies. There's only 2. It's four people from Australia and 2 Americans, according to the flags. Either way, we'll see how Danglers deal with this Gunning on Empty squad, who is looking pretty good today as they go into round number 5 of map 2. This is the series decider for Danglers. If they can take this, they take the series. They can relax on map 4, or map 3, excuse me, which probably is going to be cargo. Yeah, we're playing 4 maps now. It's a best of 5 series now, the VRML, everybody, in case you didn't know. Games now last 3.5 hours. More VRML for everybody. Less voice for us. I was going to say, remember what you're doing to yourself as well as our viewers and players. Llewellyn in a bad spot here. That guy in North Hotel, Dirt Diver, if he just happens to look this way, he's sticking out like a sore thumb against these beige rocks, and he has no idea. I don't think they've identified the spawn yet, and that's part of the reason, in my opinion, Stumpy's a little frisky on the objective building. And Plenus has identified the spawn. He just called out north, so we'll see if Llewellyn shifts. He's still staying there. Slowly moving, though. Yeah, maybe feel... he needs to get up by that wall, really. Yeah. I mean, he's going to be a lot harder to spot now that he's moved up. But, yeah, he's in a tough spot. And if Dirt happens to pick up on that at all, it's basically it's a headshot or nothing for Dirt Diver if he hits the shot. But I think at this point he doesn't have the angle anymore. Dirt's not really looking there either. Dirt's trying to hold that angle into that 3-story. He's got a pretty good one too. I like what he's trying to do there. Try and catch out anybody that's guarding the objective, kind of opening up some angles and some lines for his
South teammate to make the approach there.
I think he might even stay there as the team approaches. I mean, if I were, I would, because Mex is going to get anti here very shortly and peek that window. Of course, the other shots that rang out from the Danglers are going to distract Dirt for a minute, but almost as soon after, he goes right back to that same window. So that is definitely his angle to watch. And in my opinion, more than likely going to be his angle to watch for a majority, if not the rest of the round, as the rest of the team tries to get in and make a cap. So if the team doesn't execute here, I think Dirt might be your last man left on North Hotel, kind of scrambling to get down the hill and try and find his way in.
I'm hearing some good comms coming in from going on empty there, radioing in info of where Stumpy is. Dirt starting to deviate from that angle, expose himself a bit more as those shots ring out. He tucks back in. Coolberry's trying to find the angle on a Stumpy.
Still second story of Chopper. I just can't get tracking one if they get him.
Stumpy will find his first kill onto Lord Beardsteak, and that'll help Danglers ease the pain a little bit of this round. And Plenus will find Coolbreeze, so that'll also help things in their favor. Looks like somebody might be able to see that push down the hill from PT Jace. I see a laser cutting across the whole map, but it's going to be damn near impossible to see him as PT Jace is prone, so he'll have escaped that window of opportunity by the time that defender can actually gain a line of sight there. But things are getting more difficult by the minute for gunning on empty.
Danglers looking good here on the defense. All 5 alive to only 3 of gunning on empty, and 2 of them are on this north hill, which is not the easiest hill to approach from, although it might be the best angle to actually come in from, considering that they really just have to deal with Plenus in that second story before they can get pretty close to objective.
Yeah, I mean, Stumpy's downstairs, though, looking at the backside of that building, so I mean, there's really not many places he can come in from in that angle. He'd have the best opportunity, I think, if he's able to take down Plenus to go around towards Llewellyn maybe. But either way, Stumpy's got eyes on kind of that helicopter side of the building as well as the backside where Llewellyn is. And now we've got Arno here out of the opposite side of that same push. PT Jace there finding Plenus, just as we talked about. Arno getting into a pretty decent spot here towards the center of the map.
Good little split push from the 2 of these guys as they try and make their way in. Where's the third? He's still up on that hilltop. He's got to make his way down the center. A little smoke coming out. Maybe they're trying to deny vision from Stumpy, who's really looking for the angle on the corner, but Llewellyn's the one that finds him. PT Jace goes down, and now it's all up to Dirt Diver and Dirt Diver as Arno goes down to shots from Stumpy.
Yeah, I was following the Arno push. I thought he was going to have the jump on Mex, who was running around a little bit inside the building, but I also forgot about Stumpy. That's how many angles Danglers are really able to cover right now, and it's pretty incredible. I mean, yes, they still have 4 of their 5 guys up, so it's not as incredible, but a lot of their positions have multiple coverage points with acceptable forms of cover for themselves. The only one that I think was the most risky was Llewellyn, because he was really out in the open and exposed to that northern route. But Kit Minton's the only person who's even remotely out in the open now, and he's tucked into a nice corner there back watching the objective.
Dirt Diver saw Llewellyn making moves, didn't take the shots, opted for the stealth approach. And nades are coming in from Danglers trying to suss out where this last Dirt Diver is. As Dirt Diver finds Llewellyn, shots come in from the 2-story from Mex, and down he goes as Danglers take the lead. 3-2. All they got to do now is take this Marsoc round, and they got themselves a series win.
That is right, and I'm sure they're going to go in for it and try and end it. That is for sure. But if they don't, they do have this throwaway round they can come back to and lock up a nice tight defensive round on Volk again to finish things off for the map. But I'm expecting Gunning on Empty to do the same. I think they're about to really ratchet down the defense. They're going to box it in. They're going to put 5 people sitting on top of the satellite uplink. Like, they're not going to let Danglers anywhere near this thing, or they're going to try to. I mean, it's both teams are going to try to do their thing, but we'll see. We'll see. I wonder if Danglers are going to try for another show-off cap here in this map and try and go 5-2 again, and see if Cool Breeze will be there to stop things again.
Overall, KD's pretty well spread across everybody. Arno and Lord Beard with 5 apiece, and Kitten with 5 for his Danglers squad. It's been a really good battle. A lot of trades, a lot of back and forth. One goes down on one side, there's usually a frag picked up on the other, and it's been very rare blowouts. Although they have been happening lately here with Danglers. Kind of maybe turning it on here in the later half of this map.
Yeah, it does seem like they've turned the burners up a little bit. They were playing still pretty aggressively in Suburbia. We can't get, we can't hold that from them. But they did slow up here and there when it was needed, in my opinion. I think they've been reacting to Gunning on Empty very well, as has Gunning on Empty been reacting very well to Danglers and kind of throwing things at them that they weren't quite ready for themselves. So I think it's been a good learning experience either way for both teams, no matter who wins and loses this. But
yeah,
definitely a better game than I anticipated for Gunning on Empty here against the Danglers for our Friday Night Fights matchup.
Oh yeah, especially as things kicked off with that cap, it was maybe looking like Danglers were gonna start off things and run away with it.
Yeah. Thought we were gonna get a repeat of last night's match with the SMC Blaze. Unfortunately for Blaze, SMC
unfortunate indeed.
played last night. Man, our poor casting buddy Noman having to watch his team from 40,000 feet. I can't imagine what the people on that plane must have been hearing.
Lots of crying.
Maybe they
thought there was a baby on the plane.
I wonder if he was yelling out to shoot people.
Plant the C4
in a plane, getting arrested by an air marshal. Very interesting. I'm just looking at the map here. I'm not going to have anything set for you, but interesting to see Danglers going with two members way up on the hilltop.
Yeah, they are playing this Marsoc round a bit slower.
And he's not using one. And neither one of them are using any sort of extended range scope. So they're going to be doing a lot of pixel spotting from up here. And coming down from here isn't going to be that easy the second any one of the defenders turns and sees just a hint of that Marsoc uniform.
The slow play from Danglers, interestingly enough, and they've been showing this off on their defense too, where they've been able to kind of pull things up, throw the change up a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, and I've been thinking about this a lot more recently, especially with this season and how, big teams are falling, newer teams are taking it to giants, and things are really shaking up this season. And I've thought about it a bit, and I think the game has really evolved to a point where a team can no longer just be an aggressive team or just be a slow and methodical team. You have to be able to change it up. You have to be fluid. You have to be able to constantly adapt to what's going on the field, the situation that's going on around you. And while that's kind of the case since the game started, teams in the past, in seasons past, were able to succeed with a very, certain type of play style. Like Danglers were known for attacking objectives and in 45 seconds, and most times being successful because of that shock and awe. And then teams like Beginners were well known for being very slow and methodical, but still being very effective. And now things have changed a lot. Beginners able to throw in some speed. Global Chem always kind of been able to adapt quite well, but they kind of sit right in the middle, if you were to ask me. And then teams like Danglers, who are known for being quite fast, are changing things up like this. And I think it has to be that way now, especially if you want to compete at the top. And then I think another thing I was thinking about, and I'm just going to keep talking about this since no shots have actually rang out yet, is that you really have to start knowing an individual team and like who likes to sit where. Kittenmans will find a nice headshot on the Lord Beardsteak right on top of the objective, but it will give him away to PTJ, who does find the kill. Stumpy barely able to escape death himself over here as Dirt Diver tries to pick up the shots, but Stumpy is able to successfully avoid contact.
I think he hit the deck there. You see him standing up.
Oh, he did.
One down, ice cream truck.
Weller, a nice pick on the Cool Breeze. Drops gunning on empty again, and right now Danglers looking pretty successful so far on this attack push. 2 members of their defense, though, still within visual range of the objective. However, if Stumpy manages to take down Arno in that building, he can actually go around the north side of that ice cream truck in a prone stance and probably get the cap off without anyone on the defense knowing. It's not going to matter. He gets a little greedy, and Dirt Diver makes him pay for it.
Some big picks there for gunning on empty as they find 2, and now Danglers with only 2 left alive are into a 3v2. The push coming in here from Llewellyn as he decides to cross.
Oh, but PT Jace is bound to see this at some point. That's a long way.
He's
No, Llewellyn makes a successful, super long open road crossing and is in an excellent position to overwatch the objective and should be able to take out Arno. He does, as Arno rotates back for the objective, and now the 2 remaining members are off the objective. If Executioner can rotate down and get Stumpy nubbed, Llewellyn can hold the attention or can just shoot them in the face of the defenders and hold this out here while the team gets in a position. PT Jace basically has no way of getting there now. He should be able to hit these shots on Llewellyn. He does. That'll give him the break he needs to rush back to the objective. He is going to take it. Stumpy and Executioner now rushing their way up. PT Jace in a tough spot, but if they take the right road, they can get up to it without him even noticing. Executioner would do good to cause some distraction and allow Stumpy to make a bit of a push.
30 seconds.
Ooh, 30 seconds. Tension. Action. Adventure.
PT Jace finds shots on the mech. Stumpy rotating around. PT Jace hears him. The trade goes in, and Stumpy wins in the exchange of fire. Danglers take the series in map 2, 4-2. And what a great battle for those first 2 maps from gunning on empty.
Yeah, it really was. They put up a heck of a fight, and I know Danglers are probably breathing pretty heavy, feeling the sweat underneath those HMDs right now as things got very tense. You know, I don't think they really expected, you know, the first map to go past that cap that they attempted, and then to lose the next round, or to only win the next round to get that 1-point win. Then to have it come down to almost the same scenario here on map 2.
Yeah.
Pretty interesting, yeah.
Not surprised to see this either for our 3rd map. It is going to be a cargo pick, and I think maybe now we might see the Danglers run wild, if you will, on this final map. I expect to see some real aggression from them because they have played diligently to win the series. They played tight angles. Plenus was not able to run free, and now maybe that collar at least can come off and he can finally really try and get in there and get into that quick action.
Well, Cargo is the map that you would expect some Danglers aggression on, so yeah, I mean, I guess I can say I wouldn't fault you for thinking that. So I'm assuming the same thing. We'll see how they play it out, but if you were to put a gun to my head and say, what are they going to do? They're going to go for the cap.
Ooh, that'll be interesting to see. Heavy smokes early, get them into position, maybe try and slip through the defensive gaps in coverage and try and cap under the nose of some defenders. Lots of opportunity for that on Cargo, and we see that quite often, really. I don't think we're gonna.
Yeah, we sure do, NightFiree, but we're gonna find out what's gonna happen here soon enough. So we'll throw things in here to our first round of our final map. Danglers have already taken the series if you're just tuning in with us. But by the way, if you're just tuning in with us, where the hell have you been all night? No, I'm just kidding. Thank you for joining us, by the way, for those of you who may have just. Danglers have taken the series now after map 2. Very close game, though, from gunning on empty. And now we're about to see what's going to happen here on map 3 in our first round.
Early kill from PT Jace. The smoke's coming in from Danglers as Stumpy decides to crash forward. Dirt Diver misses the angle in the corner, and Stumpy with the shotgun blasts him.
Plenus and Stumpy are just having a good old time with that shotgun. The frag comes over from Llewellyn, finds Arno, Plenus, and PT Jace trade, and now Llewellyn's on the objective going for the cap. It's over.
Well,
that's round 1 and a cap as long as Kitmans doesn't shoot Cool Breeze here, and that's it. Llewellyn, that's his second of the day. He gets another cap here on Cargo, and Danglers go up 2-0. Stumpy just shotguns the rest of his team after the round win.
Danglers riding the momentum. Riding some, I mean, yeah, that's the aggression we were expecting. It's exactly what we called. They slipped behind the cracks of the defense and got themselves a cap. Now I expect to see a very aggressive defense from Danglers. Probably more shotguns, too.
Yeah, Stumpy definitely seemed a little tickled with that shotgun's performance on that last round, and who can blame him? I mean, in their last game, we saw him use it on Downfall, for God's sake. So he's obviously beyond giving a care. He's having fun now. They've won the series, so they can take a little bit of a breather. But yeah, did not expect to see that come out. Llewellyn with the kind of off-tone route, right?
Yeah.
Like the rest of the Danglers team was kind of on that one side of the map. Executioner actually got taken down by a bit of an aggressive defense position from PTJ, so I thought, oh, hey, maybe gunning on empty have an answer for it. Then after that first shotgun kill, and Llewellyn managed to get that nice frag kill, it was pretty much said and done. Llewellyn slips up the side, finds a frag on his way into the red cargo crate, and about 3 seconds later, the round is over.
Yeah, it is the longer lane to try and cross. You need a lot more utility to get across it, but maybe we'll start to see people try and opt for the other side. Because yeah, usually you see everyone approach from the crates on this side of the objective, and we'll see how Gunning on Empty approach it as we go into round 2 of map 3, with Danglers taking a commanding lead.
Yeah, I couldn't be 100% sure because you were talking at the time, but I'm pretty sure the Danglers were talking to me on Spectate. Or talking at me, I guess, just assuming I was there.
They love you.
Ooh, Plenus right outside Lord Beardsteak. I think he heard the push come. Oh, but he wasn't ready for Dirt Diver to be there backing it up. PTJ will also find Stumpy Nub. And Gunning on Empty already at the advantage here. Oh, my. That's rough.
Yes, it is, as Danglers now only have 2. They got to cover both sides. Kitten has to watch for the back flank, and Max watching the exit out of the tunnel. But there's a lot of other routes that the rest of Gunning on Empty can take that aren't covered. And we'll see how these 2 hunker down and hold on to this objective. No caps right here.
I don't think they're going to allow a cap. But if it were me, knowing that you have 5 minutes left to have to sit through this excruciating, possibly slow push, possibly fast, I might actually rush the attackers and prevent them from having the opportunity to kind of do what you just did to them the round before. But Mex will find the frag kill onto PTJ's, finally ending his killing spree, and then pop over to the side for a quick confirmation shot.
Oh!
Nice response with the C4. He's not going to be able to get that refrag, unfortunately.
I'm surprised that wasn't an insta-kill. That sucker was real close to him. He's fortunate that he didn't go down, and now it is all up to Max as Kitten goes down to dirt.
Another frag, but that one won't be as helpful to his cause. I think he didn't want to overthrow it and throw it out of the map, and we have seen a lot more of that lately, so it's definitely a possibility. Cool Breeze, though, will find the angle from inside the open cargo container, and Gunning on Empty find a MARSOC round of their own and bring the score up 2-1 here on cargo.
This team doesn't really roll over, so I do expect them to truly put in a good effort on this final cargo map, even though Danglers came in hot with that cap. They're not going to let them take the series with a blowout here, because if you look at their other loss that they've had, they won in points. So the only loss they've had this season is they've won in points. So we'll see if Danglers can keep the momentum and get maybe another cap here and really lock it in for that final map in the series. And I'm sure that's what they're going to try and do.
Well, I mean, the objective really only went about 5 meters on the opposite side of that cargo container, so I'm going to be looking for a similar strategy out of Danglers here on this objective, since it's basically the same as the one that just happened before it. Would have been interesting to see the devs throw an objective in one of those central huts, like in the middle part of the map, and then have Marsoc spawn and be able to just kind of surround the defense up front unless they pushed out from their spawn. Be an interesting objective for this map. Really be some serious action, I think.
Changing spawn points really shake up the league quite a bit.
I still think Marsoc should know where they're going to spawn. Since Volk knows the objective they're going to defend, I think Marsoc should know where they're going to spawn, so they can plan one route instead of having to try and plan 3.
Look at this.
You might not want to have audio on for this. Executioner's lyrics are Mexicutionary. They set up 2 shields in the doorway so that nobody could shoot them while they're doing it. While they're taking this round.
We'll watch it from afar. They're playing Ringer. I think they're playing Duck Duck Goose.
They're playing Duck Duck Goose, yeah. Cutting on empty or still throwing flashes.
Yeah. I think they're just gonna camp here.
They're gonna wait until gunning on empty come to find them. I really have a feeling. So is there anything else you want to talk about for the time being? Because this might be a while. Unless you just want to listen to them talk.
Oh no, we can't listen to the Danglers conversations. That is not family
Oh, they're
friendly.
gonna be coming out. It's gonna get PTJs. What?
No, the nades.
I guess it did end up falling a bit far, yeah. So
the nades haven't really been catching people out as much as they normally do. I feel like maybe people have just been getting real lucky this round, but PT Jace might be onto them. He's getting close to uncovering the mystery of Danglers.
Yeah, he's got to hear him. I'm surprised he's not like secretly whispering on his radio, trying to find him. Well, that didn't work. The flank comes out from the backside of Executioner, and PT Jace, and all of his exploratory curiosity, gets him killed.
I mean, for gunning on empty, this works for them. They'll take, well...
They'll take a free round if Danglers play it out too much, and for Danglers, it doesn't matter. They could sacrifice another point, I guess. I mean, they still win the series, so they still take the series win, and I mean, unless gunning on empty win by 2 on this map, they won't be able to tie score, I don't think. Or actually, I think they have to win by 3, so I don't think they can tie score even on this series at the moment.
They're all making their way out proned.
I don't know how Kitten Mittens and Plenus managed to convince the Danglers to play Legionnaire style tonight, but somehow, some way, someone got Stumpy Nub, the biggest complainer about people proning across the map in the league, to prone across the map, making race car noises while he does it.
This is the Danglers that I know and expect to see in League. Not the Danglers that we've been seeing in the last 2 maps. They've definitely been a much more diligent squad. And I think maybe they've just been holding it in really hard the last 2 maps, and now it's all leaking out. The typical Danglers nonsense.
They put a cork in there weird.
Yeah, and then they shook it up a lot, and now it's exploded, and here we are. We're seeing the Danglers.
And now the silly pants salmonella strikes again. Plenus is having flashbacks to his Legionnaires days.
What you shooting at?
As he groans and moans at Stumpy for making him get down on the ground. Well, he's gonna find Beard Steak, and I swear to God, if they win this round after being complete knuckleheads the whole time, I might just sign off on this cast, NightFiree. That might be it for me. I might not be able to handle it anymore.
Oh, they're locking it in now when the time matters.
Plenus just down Llewellyn. He just knifed Llewellyn, I think.
Dirt Diver finds 2. Plenus exposed, shields up. Dirt Diver down to the knife. Shot in the back by Cool Breeze, and now Llewellyn into a 1v2. That's the plainest I know.
Made some sort of noise.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was a call out, but I think he said he's right there. And he gets immediately double tapped. Arno finds the shots onto Llewellyn, and Danglers get what's coming to them as Gunning on Empty take that round and tie things up on map 3, 2-2.
They get what's coming to them.
I mean, let's be fair.
I agree. Horsing around at the start. I mean, it's all fun and games. They've won the series.
Sure. It's a game nonetheless. Like, no matter if they won the series or lost the series, like, it's a game, right? Like, that's why we all play it. It's fun. We enjoy it. But it that was a little bit too much. Like, you can tell Gunning on Empty very much still taking it seriously, still playing their game as tightly as they can because they want to take as many points on the board as they can to stop that MMR loss from being as great. Though to be fair, Danglers aren't going to earn a whole lot of it anyways, being that Gunning on Empty is ranked currently below them. How it works.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, Danglers giving up free points is just lessening that small difference even more.
And on to round 3 of map 3 we go. Gunning on Empty, not going to be pulling any similar strats to that of the Danglers Marsoc round, but I'm curious to see how Danglers defend this as they are going into a 2-2, and it seems like they're a bit more dialed in on the defense. Linus might find some action.
Yeah, no, he's not, because Dirt Diver's watching him off the flank, and I swear if Plinus doesn't learn this lesson, he does get the trade-off, and the frag that he dropped does get the kill onto Beardsteak, but he should have learned that lesson from the last time. The same exact setup. Beardsteak was right outside, and Dirt Diver was watching the doorway for the push the whole time. Granted, Dirt Diver didn't get to pull the trigger this time, but Linus, you got to learn that lesson, man.
Something that takes a lot of effort for sure to be able to react accordingly as PTJ catches Kitten. Cool Breeze catches 2 for Cool Breeze prone here.
Jesus.
I think Stumpy has just returned to his headset.
What? He gets up and says, what? Oh my goodness.
Everybody dead around him. That's what, Stumpy. Gunning on Empty. Looking to take at least one map.
The problem here is it's not really that the rest of his team's dead. I mean, anyone who knows Stumpy knows he's a pretty heck of an impressive player, but this will be a tough task, and he doesn't really have the kill count, I don't think, unless he went AFHMD after the round started, but I don't think that's the case. And Cool Breeze is about to find another kill here as he just sits in that dark hallway. A dead body. Stumpy not falling for it, though.
They have such a crazy advantage right now. I'm surprised to not see any smokes or try having them push as Cool Breeze looks for the shots off onto Stumpy.
He must not have a frag because he's not taking the shots. He's not throwing the frag towards the door. He knows he's there. Cool Breeze going to be on the suppression now. Stumpy's trying to push up hard instead. Going to tuck in behind those green barrels. It's probably a better position for him to defend this objective from, to be honest. Though I'm anticipating that Gunning on Empty still has a lot of flashes in their utility, and I expect one to be used here on this corner if they find out he's there. I think, no, PT doesn't know he's there. He's checking that room doorway. Ooh, the lineup. If PT Jace and Arno stayed lined up the way they are, this could be a double for Stumpy without even trying.
Oh, Dirt Diver with the snapshots denies Stumpy any kills and does take the lead now for Gunning on Empty as they go on to the defensive and try and take their the only map in the series.
Joe Mama called Patty Cake and DuckDuckGo's team building exercises in the chat. Yeah, to an extent, I guess you are correct. It's a good thing we don't have like fully tracked bodies. Then you'd have teams doing trust falls on downfall. It'd be a real crazy thing, especially considering no one can physically catch you. So you would just be falling into your floor. Things to think about.
What sort of team building exercise do you think we'll see this round from Danglers?
I don't know. This time they might turn it back on and go serious. Try and go for a cap. That's my thought. I think they're just gonna like try and. Well, they obviously did try on that defensive round all but Stumpy until the very end, anyways. So yeah, I mean they're still there, I guess. They're still playing, but I really don't think at this point it matters too much to them. Really, I think right now, if Gunning on Empty take this point, it ties the series, right?
No, it'll be 10-9 total.
To Gunning on Empty?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
No,
So
no,
right
to
now
Danglers,
it's
sorry.
Oh, okay. So they can't even tie the series at this point.
No.
Unless they were to. Well, no, they can't because you can't.
They can get dang close, though.
They can. I mean, it's that score line would that be one of those close score lines that actually do the match justice. That's for sure. Ooh, this is another very capable.
GOE actually hasn't lost in points this season, so this will be their first loss in total points.
Well, smokes are out in full effect from Danglers. They are going in, as they would like to say.
No patty cake in the back this time, as you are right. They are charging forward. Suppressive fire from Stumpy and the LMG, and the smokes not exactly where they need them to be, but they're good enough for Llewellyn to catch out Dirt Diver.
Yep, and Executioner is running for some objective I'm not sure of. Llewellyn makes his way into the objective. The objective is overwhelmed. Plenus is on top of it. Danglers are going to get the kills, though, before that and take the round. That's not what they wanted, though, I think.
Yeah.
Stumpy Nub actually looks upset that they won that by killing them. I mean, only Stumpy Nub would be upset.
Yeah.
Danglers win a round by killing, but... Well, no, actually, that's pretty common, I guess, in the Danglers hood.
Either way, a really overwhelming round from Danglers there. Maybe catching Gunning on Empty off guard by actually playing aggressive and locked in there, because they have been sort of toying around this final map at the very least. And now we are getting into our final round, since...
It's map point, it's game point, it's over point. In the next 6 minutes, we will find out who takes map 3. Will Gunning on Empty be able to salvage one map against Danglers, or will Danglers tighten it up just for a little bit longer in order to take all 3 maps away from their opponent? You'll find out soon, as the smokes are already coming in from Gunning on Empty. I'm assuming some aggression from them. Pleen is going to find Dirt Diver right off the bat. Stumpy Nub will find one as well. PT Jace will be there for the refrag, though. Plenus right outside of Cool Breeze. He's going to find Cool Breeze on the center push, and now it's all just 2 members of Gunning on Empty left. Plenus will get the trade with Lord Beardsteak, and now we're into a 3v1. Llewellyn of the defense on the aggression. He's looking for the enemy, but he's not run a deep enough route, unfortunately, which, to be fair, doesn't need to. He can just kind of circle back and wait. Or try again later. But Arno now going to probably use up the rest of the clock as he tries to poke and prod his way up and maybe get single picks and relocate from this point forward. Shots ringing out there from Arno as he tries to make some sort of an effort, but that will give away his general location. The Danglers, the Danglers will finally start to get it together and figure out where he is based on that. A frag's going to come in long range, but the pipes will stop it from getting all the way there. Llewellyn's just around the corner, though, and here comes the push out from Arno. It could be right into the line of sight of Llewellyn, and it is. Llewellyn takes a couple of quick shots, and that'll take it. That'll end it. That'll be done. That'll be over. Danglers win map number 3, 4-3.
Solid performance from Danglers today. They had a tall order, I would say, put in front of them, going up against a very strong Gunning on Empty this season. And they stepped up. They won on Suburbia, albeit very, very close, 4-3. Came ahead 4-2 on Downfall, and then ultimately taking that final map, Cargo, 4-3.
Yeah, some amazing stuff. Danglers really pulling it out by the skin of their teeth, if I'm going to be completely honest with everyone. You know, I didn't underestimate GOE coming into this, and I told Danglers not to as well. It looks like they, well, I mean, they were aware of it, but it looks like they, quote-unquote, took my advice, and they did come out on top, able to take all 3 maps. So kudos to them. Congratulations to the Danglers. Commiserations, of course, goes out to Gunning on Empty. That was a heck of a battle. I really hope to see Gunning on Empty maybe make a challenge match later in the season, or possibly if they get matched up again. That'll be definitely one I'll jump on for sure. But yeah, overall, can say that this was a better match than I anticipated, but I'm not upset at that.
Yeah, an absolutely excellent series. Thank you so much for tuning in for the Friday night fight. I think that's going to be it from us here on the Onward VR Master League. If you enjoyed the cast, please head on over to vrmasterleague.com/onward, where you can be more up to date on when we go live. Follow the Twitter, follow the Facebook, follow the Twitches so that you know you get those notifications when streams are coming, and you always see people like myself and Sleepy on our personal Twitters tweeting out when we're going live, when casts are coming, what games we're looking at, what new stuff's coming out in VR. So if you do feel like following us as well, yeah, just get into the Twitterverse.
Yeah.
And I think that will be it. My name is NightFiree with 2 E's. My co-caster Sleepy with 2 3's. Thank you for joining us. We will see you probably more this weekend.
Absolutely, we will. Good night, everybody.